you guys have probably seen Hamza posted a video a couple of days ago, probably a week ago, where he said he's fulfilled his purpose and he's basically going to stop creating consistent YouTube content. He's going to go and just do fighting and whatever. And it was obviously kind of sad for the community because Hamza has become such a consistent part of like our daily routines. And I just wanted to make this video just like to say thank you to him because I'm sure he knows like how many people he's impacted in his life. But I just wanted to like tell my story. By the time he'd made that video, I think I haven't been like consuming Hamza content consistently for like the last 2 or 3 months. Like I got to a point where it was like, and he said it himself. He was like, for a lot of you guys, like there's people who know everything that I'm saying in these videos. Now you just need to go out there and implement it. And I decided like I'm one of those people. Like I've been consuming his content for so long, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop watching. But I still like kept up to date with like what he was doing and that sort of thing. When I saw his video, I was just like, oh damn. But I do want to say like Hamza he's been like such a massive role model. Like for me, I do have a dad at home, and he's a very masculine father. Like I'm not one of those where it's like, oh, Hamza's like I don't have a father figure and Hamza's my father figure. But it wasn't anything like that. But he was still like, like there's a disparity between like our age group and then like my dad's age group. Like my dad he turned 50 like a week ago. He's not on this, like he's actually like busy, he's so busy like working all the damn time, right? So he's not gonna be here to teach me like self-improvement and all that stuff. So it was very like useful to have Hamza, because one thing I don't have is an older brother. I'm an older brother, so I have a younger brother. I have a younger sister and an older sister as well, but like specifically my younger brother, like I do feel the responsibility to sort of like set the example for him. And so I didn't have an older brother, so having someone like Hamza definitely helped a lot. I found Hamza in 2021. Right? I wasn't one of those people where it's like, oh, I was having all these bad habits, and then I saw a Hamza video and he was like, oh, stop living like this, and then I stopped living like that. It wasn't like that. I was already on self-improvement, and I found Hamza on my self-improvement journey, right? And I remember when I started like my self-improvement journey, I've said this a couple of times, it was in 2021, I'd spoken to a friend that I hadn't spoken to in a year, and the last time I'd spoken to him was graduation at high school. And I remember speaking to him and I was like, damn, I had all these plans for what I was going to do, once I left high school. Because, I'd left high school and it was like, okay, I'm going into college, I'm going to change my life. It's a new start and everything. And I was like, damn, it's been a year and I've done nothing. In fact, I've regressed from where I was. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to be that guy. Like 10 years later, there's like not a family reunion, a high school reunion. I'm coming back and I'm seeing all these people and it's like, oh, I had all these plans and nothing happened. Right? So I was like, I can't be doing that. I can't be like that at 30 because I won't have the opportunity to change it. It won't be as easy, right? So, moving back to the Hamza thing, I found Hamza along my journey and he definitely helped. Like he was a guide for like changing my mentality, because I was on self-improvement, like doing like the good habits or whatever, but having someone like Hamza who spoke about it so confidently and so precisely, like you have to do this, you must do this, that sort of thing. And if you think like this, or if you do this sort of thing, you're weak. And whatever, and just there's like a lot of like motivation from like watching Hamza, and it definitely helped like have sort of like someone leading me, and that's something I feel like I want to do with my channel now. I'll say he definitely inspired me to like start this channel, him and like First Man, because I was watching First Man and I was like, First Man just sits there and he just talks. And I was like, I want to do that. Like I know self-improvement, I love self-improvement. I was like, I want to sit down and talk about it and teach what I know. And basically what I want to do with this channel is like, I know there's a lot of like gurus out there who are like, oh, I know everything and I'm going to do all of this. And I've learned, I learned this from Hamza. It was like, stop speaking on like what you don't know. Like, do it. Like, preach. Act. What's the saying? Like, do as you preach, whatever. But like, yeah, he's the one who was like, you need to back up like what you're saying. So for me, I'm like, okay, if there's like 10 levels of like self-improvement, like level 1 to level 10, I was like, I'm somewhere between like level 4 and level 5, right? I can teach guys who are like on level 1, 2, and 3 how to get to where I am, right? I'm not able to teach them like, how to get to level 10 like Hamza has been doing, but I learned that from him, right? Like I learned like you do as you preach, and it was things like that helped a lot. And also even now this video he's made where he sort of like, he said I fulfilled my purpose and I was going to fighting. I was like, I want to do something like that, right? Where it's like, I spent like a couple of years like just building up like my money, and I've learned this from Iman as well, where it's like if you can get to like $10 million, right, and then you invest that properly in like in investments, and you're making like 10% a year, you're making like $1 million a year. Obviously it's not like as straightforward as that, but that's the gist of it, right? You spend like, I was like, okay, I'll spend like 5 years or 10 years, or however long it takes, get to like $10 million, and then invest that, and then I'm making like from that point onwards, that investment is making me like $1 million every single year, tax free for doing nothing. And then from that point onwards, I can do what I want, right? And isn't that what we all want? We all want to be at a point where we're free and we don't have to work. We don't have to spend our time doing things we don't want to do. Like I don't have to get up and say, oh, I have to work, right? And once you get to that point, I can be like, okay, I want to spend the next year just chilling in the wild. I remember Hamza, he did say something like that. He was like, I'd love to just go somewhere in like the wild and just, or like the mountains or whatever, and just be like a lumberjack. And I was like, that sounds cool, right? Like you have all these options. Like if I want to spend a year learning chess or whatever, if I want to spend a year becoming like a kung fu like master or whatever, or I want to learn how to fight and like just spend that doing that, or I love football, so if I want to spend like a whole year just dedicated to training, to being an athlete, like if I want to pretend I'm a footballer all year long, I can do that because I've got, like my finances are set up well. And I learned that again from Hamza's like last video where he's like, I want to go do fighting, right? And then I'll come back with something to teach. And I was like, he probably like his finances are probably like really sorted out now that he can kind of do whatever he wants. And I was like, see, it's things like that. He was kind of I was obviously like learning a lot of things from him, but I wasn't like a Jeffrey. Like I wasn't like, oh, you need to stop watching porn, you need to stop doing this or whatever. Like I already knew all that stuff. It was more of like he represented like what I want to be basically. Right? And all the things he was doing where he was, I was like, oh wait, I want to like do that. Like it was giving me like motivation to that sort of thing. And that's why I do want to say, like, I don't have much more to say. I just want to say thank you to Hamza. He's like made such a profound impact on my life. I'm sure he's probably made an impact on your life as well. So yeah, that's just all I wanted to say. Until next time, I'll see you boys.